Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Vulture podcast. This episode is another sequel, and it was a Sir pick. This episode was brought to you by Sir, which is one of the co-hosts. The other co-host being RoxyReviews. Welcome, you two.
We're back in Hawkins, Indiana.
Oh yeah, it's better than being in the pizzeria. I'll tell you that much. God.
How would you feel about being in
Yeah, what nice comeback.
Sharknado? I don't know.
Were you having a stroke there?
You know what? I thought for a minute you were going to bring up Secret of the Mimic, and you just couldn't remember what the fuck that place was called. Because I don't even know what it's called.
No, I haven't played Secret of the Mimic.
Me neither. Even though I literally said I would. And I do kind of plan on it. It's just there's way more important games coming out. I.e. Donkey Kong is coming out literally. Yeah. Like, by the time we're us recording it, I have 15 more days until I have to go get it. And then you get.
I still yet to get a Switch too. By the time we're recording this.
Yeah, and if that's the case, that's going to be awesome. Roxy will be the only one of us who not have a Switch 2. And that would be fucking hilarious. Why?
Roxy gets Switch 2 so we can talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Exactly. The most peakest of peaks.
How about I show you this Bonanza?
Oh, hell no. Don't hit us with that. Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, we are back in the world.
Oh, man, I should have just said suck my Bonanza. That would have been funnier.
Well, you missed your chance. But yeah, we are back in the world. Oh, sorry. We are back in the world of Hawkins and Stranger Things Season 2. Woo! Which I'll read it off because I have the Wikipedia page. The second season of the science fiction television series Stranger Things, marketed as Stranger Things 2, was released worldwide on streaming service Netflix on October 27, 2017. The series was created by the Duffer Brothers, who also serve as executive producers along with Sean Levy, Dan Cohen, and Leon Patterson, or Paterson, however you want to pronounce it. The season stars a lot of people. I'm not going to read all of them off. They also appear in recurring roles. There are characters who reappear. You get what I mean. The seasons received highly positive reviews, in particular for its story, character development, production values, visual effects, performances, particularly those of Harbour Brown, Sknap, Kiri, Aston, and darker tone compared to the previous seasons, but criticized the Lost Sister plotline. Okay, so obviously
that episode fucking sucked. Holy shit.
Okay, jumping right into it. I don't personally think it's a bad episode. I think all the hate really comes from its placing. How it just messes with the pacing and tone of what we left off with the previous episode.
Very weird that they...
I think all the problems just come from that.
Yeah. Very, very off-putting to me. Oh, wait. You know what? I just realized something. Is that why? Oh, that is why. Okay, sorry. Sorry, nothing bad was happening. It was just... I looked at my... I have my Discord preview window, and I looked at it, and it, the screen wasn't turning to colors. And I was like, what the fuck? But we're good. We're all good. We're alive. We're well. But yeah, there is obviously a lot to talk about, and I think what we should start with is just kind of like, sir, catch us all up to speed. What happened last season? Basically.
All right, basically, in 1983, there's a small town in Indiana called Hawkins, where 4 geeks live together as friends. One of them, Will Byers, went missing, and there's also a girl named 11 who has psychic powers. There's some kind of conspiracy going on with the lab, all kinds of mystery stuff, which eventually leads everyone together, fight off, or to go save Will in the Upside Down, the dimension where he was trapped in by the Demogorgon, where the Demogorgon dies, 11 goes in... Well, 11 assumably dies, but now we know she just goes in the Upside Down. And they save Will, although he's vomiting slugs now.
Yes.
Also, Barbara.
Eat slugs, Will.
Yeah.
The fucking Harry Potter.
Oh no. Yeah. So that was a good way to catch everybody kind of up to speed in case they haven't watched what happened last time on either the show or watching us talk about it. So good job. So yeah.
Thanks.
This is going to be very weird because it's also been a while since I watched season 1, but I pretty much was caught up enough to where I could understand what was happening throughout the season. So the one thing I was spoiled on was 11 coming back from the Upside Down. So I knew that was going to happen. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, and it was literally, I think, wasn't it the second episode? It's been a while since I've seen all of season 2. But I believe it was the second episode.
They teased at the end of the first episode.
Well, it's revealed that she's still alive at the end. Episode 1 reveals she's still alive. Episode 2 reveals how. And honestly, it's just really fucking lame because she just wakes up and immediately finds a way back to the normal world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being lame, as you say, but ultimately, I am kind of glad she didn't die at the end of season 1. There's still more story potential with her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, but the fact that it's like when a character just shows up in a sequel after them having supposed to have died, and it's just like, okay, really?
It gives off Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, where she dies in Infinity War, but then is resurrected to an extent and
somehow 11 returned.
Or kind of like how they were supposed to have Shadow die at the end of Sonic Adventure 2, but he was such a fan favorite character that they brought him back in Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we should just get onto the storylines that we got, which is just going to be basically almost the entire episode, because the storyline is very huge, and there's so much to talk about with the storylines that I don't.
Yeah, we got like rotting pumpkins, Will being possessed,
the Upside Down
uncovering the science conspiracies,
the Upside Down trying to come into the real world,
the Upside Down trying to come out to the world, a newcomer to the group named Mad Max.
Mm-hmm. Along with that, I do have notes, and I'm going to be kind of peeking at them from here on out. Yeah, like 11 escapes.
Yep.
There's.
I think it juggles all of them most of them just as well as the first season.
Mm-hmm.
There's, of course, episode 7 that we already mentioned, which, its placement sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry. For a second, I thought you meant that you liked all the characters as much as you did in the last season, and I was like, even Hopper?
Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that when we get to characters.
Yeah. I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about is Will, because obviously in season 1, he was mostly in the Upside Down. We didn't know what was happening with him. He returns in this season as a he's obviously traumatized, one, because he was in the Upside Down, and then he starts getting visions of it, and then even at one point he gets possessed by a shadow-esque monster. And
the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, the Mind Flayer. My bad. So it's very interesting to see them kind of do that, you know? Just, as in, it's very interesting that, like, now we're finally getting to see what kind of effects the Upside Down can have to a person. Like, because,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, while we're on the subject, what do you even think of the Mind Flare to begin with? Do you think it was like weird that they gave the show like a main villain, or do you
Uh,
think it was a good idea after season one to give whatever remaining seasons, even though they didn't have a plan, a big bad guy after Dr. Brenner already died because he was, the big bad guy of season one?
Yeah,
well,
I think it was a pretty cool idea.
I don't.
Gives off the
Oh, sorry. Go.
has the supernatural Stephen King vibes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plus its design is pretty cool. Same with its powers.
I don't mind the idea because the Upside Down has always been the you don't want to go there place. So having a villain kind of come from there is always like I feel like it's always like the next step you do is like okay, this place none of our characters are really like supposed to go. So what happens if like one of them does go and then they get completely possessed by something that they have no idea how to come back? Because like the only thing we know about the Upside Down is from Will's perspective, and because he was literally in it. Like, yeah, we see 11 go in
Well,
it.
and also Nancy, but only briefly.
Yeah, she only goes in there briefly. 11 goes in there in the beginning of the season, but that's really it. We don't really see like how
You don't see much of it this time.
Yeah, so
except from I guess the very end where it does the really cool transition where it slides goes into the ground and then comes back up with the Upside Down.
Yeah.
And I guess also the scientists know something of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm meaning as like we, the audience, having the idea of like a big spooky son of a bitch coming from the great place that nobody wants to go is a cool concept to make it the main villain.
Right? It's the interdimensional horror from Enter the Gungeon. That's crazy.
I think like the best way to explain how I feel about it is kind of like let me think. Because like a beast from like a thing that we okay, so Fallout. I don't know if any of you know anything about Fallout. In Fallout,
I think
oh, sorry.
Specifically the first game.
Yes, Fallout 1.
Yes, because I actually did remember. Wait, Fallout. I thought you said. Never mind. I was thinking of something else.
You're good. In Fallout 1 specifically, it always seems like. God, never mind. Okay, basically what I'm trying to get at is like if you see like a villain, if you see like the place where you're not supposed to go, and like the villain is that thing from the place that you're not supposed to go, it makes it way more interesting because they are the taste of what that world is like. For example, you know what? Yeah, I could use Fallout. You see a lot of mutants throughout Fallout. People who are mutated or they got the radiation turned them into big beasts and monsters. Well, in Fallout, they are you don't know who is creating them. And then you go and find the creator of the mutants, or they're not mutant, the orgs or the mutant beast or whatever you want to call them. You see them, and then they're trying to make like a big race of these creatures. Well, they're told that how are you going to make more creatures if they can't reproduce? And then they're like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to kill ourselves then. Goodbye. And then they blow up and die. But that's beside the point. It's just
speaking of.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of creatures, I think another aspect I liked about the world building of this is how they expanded on the Demogorgon's evolution.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with a slug, then a salamander, then a dog thing that ate Dustin's cat. Poor thing.
Poor cat.
Even bigger dog than a humanoid, Slenderman-esque figure.
Not gonna lie, I can't watch scenes.
It is.
Do that.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it makes me really sad whenever I see a cat die because I have two, like literally right next to me. So it's always just kind of like, oh, I can't watch this. Not in front of them. Like,
Well, my comment was of the complete opposite nature. I was gonna say the whole Demodog thing kind of gives me fucking Rise of Skywalker vibes, which I know we already mentioned with 11 being back, but it gives off Rise of Skywalker vibes. Now, hear me out with the Demodogs. Not in that way, but hear me out in that
oh my god.
it's kind of like how in the Rise of Skywalker, the thing from the big threat from the original movie, which is the Death Star, Rise of Skywalker's like, and then Palpatine has like a million Death Stars. Oh my god!
I'd say it's more like Aliens, with how in the first movie there's only one alien, and now in the sequel there's multiple.
Yeah, there's aliens.
I haven't seen the Alien sequels. I've seen the first one though. It's a pretty good movie.
Gosh.
Yeah, it is.
Gosh, why can't women in Hollywood be... Or, wait, women in Hollywood... Wasn't it... Gosh,
it's fucking awesome that... It's fucking awesome that that movie coming out when it did had a male pregnancy.
Isn't there... Isn't there a joke? Or, like, isn't, like, one of the... Gosh, I really don't want to, but I'm gonna ask. Because, like, when you brought up aliens, I thought of, like, the fucking... What's his name? Damn it! Mahler and Critical Drinker, they're always like, why can't the women be like, Riley from Aliens? Wasn't her name Riley?
Ripley.
Ripley.
Erin Ripley.
Why in the world did I say Riley? Anyways, that's literally what I keep thinking of every time when someone brings up Aliens. I need to watch it again.
Critical Drinker, when a woman does something in a movie other than be a fucking Stepford.
Bro hates Indiana Jones, confirmed. But yeah, no, I was just bringing it up.
He probably likes Temple of Doom because it's racist and the woman doesn't do anything.
Anyways, but yeah, no, I just thought of that. Okay, so back to Stranger Things, with Dort. The
Dart.
Dort. Not
Dort?
Dork. It sounds like Kevin from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Now you're doing a Homer Simpson impression.
No. Only on Wednesdays. Anyways. Yeah, so seeing Dart kind of evolve, be this creepy son of a gun, and then you're just always sitting there like, you know what's going to happen. That thing's going to turn into something bad. And it does, but, you know. Or it will. I don't fucking remember. God. I hate my life. But yeah.
Well, you know what? I do think it's kind of funny. So, in season 1, with the way the Demogorgon's face is designed, it's almost like a flower or a banana peel. And then Dustin says that Dart looks like a banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah. It is sad that he's heartbroken about it, though. Or was he heartbroken?
Hey, wait a second. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
What?
Sorry, I wasn't thinking specifically about Stranger 2 because I finished rewatching season 3 earlier today, and holy shit, is it fucking awful. But
say that.
Don't spoil it for
don't
Caroline.
say it's actually
I won't. But I was thinking about it. I remembered when I rewatched the finale of season 2, and Dart like spared Dustin and his friends because Dart and Dustin had a connection. I'm just like, aren't these guys a hive mind? Why would it spare Dustin? I mean,
I guess partially since like they still hunt in packs like wild animals.
Oh yeah, but they're a hive mind. Once the portal is closed to the mind flare, they all die, so they're all clearly like all just under the control of a big bad thing.
Like
they don't have their own brains, so why would Dart have a connection with Dustin after Dustin has outlived his usefulness to him?
In the words of Rick Sanchez, don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
In the words of Rick Sanchez, fuck you. I don't know.
Fuck you. Just fuck you. Yeah, well, that does sound like something Rick would say. I guess even like with that, should we talk a little bit about the other victims of the lab. Most notably, 11's mother and 8.
And 8.
Okay, it's
Yes,
funny
we're
because they're on.
transitioning characters.
It's funny because they're on complete opposite sides of the spectrum. The stuff with Eleven's mom was fantastic,
Say that
but
again?
Oh god, yeah! Oh, sorry.
the fucking episode where Eleven's like, "I'm gonna go find my sister," is terrible.
Mm.
You know that? You know the fucking Book of Boba Fett? You know the part where he hires like a bunch of fucking like a biker gang of like cyborg rebels? That's what that episode felt like to
Oh, I
me.
thought you were going to bring up the part where, like, they just give up on Boba Fett and it becomes Mandalorian.
Well, it also feels like that because none of the other characters show up. Which, I mean, you mentioned the placement. It feels especially egregious because the previous episode ended with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, huge cliffhanger. How this thing possessing Will is not only like a parasite, but he's a spy who led the soldiers to their deaths.
Mm-hmm.
The Demodogs are coming to the lab. What's going to happen? Oh, side quest. An important one, but
Still
side quest that takes up the entire episode. Okay.
It didn't have to exist.
No, it did not.
No, seriously, I mean it. 11 could have come to that conclusion on her own, which she logically would after seeing what happened to her mom.
Yeah, but Roxy, they're going on a side quest. Are you happy? They're going on a
Oh,
quest.
she learns to get stronger and how revenge can be bad for the wrong reasons. Or for the wrong reasons that you're doing it. What I mean.
Why are you... You're not excited for the... Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan either.
I mean, I liked it on its own. It's just the placement's my big issue with it.
It feels like a lot of the
So,
placements...
like, the thing that they did,
oh, fuck.
The thing that they did with the mom, I liked.
Mm-hmm. Where she was stripped
Yeah, that was
away from
handled well. Was just rapidly, especially at the end, it was rapidly going through the flashback and the same audio clips over and over and same visuals until it just stops.
Yeah, see, that was
That was
really
so well
cool. I
done.
really liked that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really a big fan of the titles. Which I know sounds weird. I just want to bring it up. The references I was not a big fan of. I feel like they were too in your face. Like,
oh my god, Dig Dog, you know what that is!
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, this doesn't, like, fully take down the show or anything. I'm just not a big fan of... What's the word? Constantly going like, hey, you guys like Thing? Here's Thing. And before anybody says Deadpool Wolverine, shut the fuck up. We can't talk about that yet. But when we do, I have an argument to make. But, as for...
Well, also, before anybody says Rick and Morty, I'm pretty sure the episode titles of that show are intentionally terrible.
Yeah, like, I'm meaning more of, like, the fact of... Like, okay, Mad Max. Yes, it is the introduction of Max. But you know what they were really going for there. Do you guys remember Mad Max?
Oh my god, it's like the movies with Mel Gibson, who's... Don't look him up!
And then... Dig Dug. I get it, the tunnels, but still, it's really lame. And I mean, again, this doesn't, like, fully take away from the show. I'm just saying, personally, those kind of, like, oh my gosh, do you know this thing? Yeah, me too. Let's talk about it. Like,
that's the show definitely got more in your face with it being in the 1980s, where it's like, oh my god, guys, they're playing Dragon's Lair. Remember Dragon's Lair?
Yeah, they did that.
To slay the dragon, use the magic sword.
And then one other thing, the Ghostbusters costume. Those will always be ruined for me.
I mean,
I'm just
It
not.
came out in.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it takes place in 1984.
I get
around
it.
after the time Ghostbusters came out.
Yeah,
It makes sense they'll dress up as them.
Yeah, it's
that movie was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was a huge hit, but I'm just not a fan of it. It's just not.
Also,
yeah, you said
that was funny.
Ghostbusters
Which
came
one?
out in
When
1984.
they were arguing why there can't be two Venkmans and one of them has to be Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, Ghostbuster came out in 1984, right?
Yeah.
That means that season 3 takes place 1 year later. Wait.
Yeah, 1985. They even have minor spoilers, but they even have them watching Back to the Future in the theater.
Yeah, that's why I thought of that, because I finished season 3 earlier today. What? No, that doesn't make any sense. How the fuck could everything that happens in season 3 happen like a year or less after? No, less than a year, because of Halloween. Yeah, less than a year, and because the climax takes place on Independence Day. What the fuck? Was Back to the Future even in theaters on Independence at that point? Maybe it was.
Can't look it up.
Now we have to rationalize this. This is fucking stupid.
Back to the Future came out on July 3rd, 1985. So yeah.
Okay, so
speaking of which,
God, this is.
Speaking of which, by the time we're recording this, we are literally 2 days away from the 4th of July. I don't know why I wanted to bring that up. I just thought it was funny.
I don't like that holiday. I don't like fireworks. They're loud and annoying, and well,
hey,
it should be pretty obvious coming from. I have an obviously biased perspective, but I also don't really particularly find celebrating it exciting, considering the current state.
Well, it seems like the world already kind of beat you to that, Roxy, because what's going to be happening that day? It's going to be more protests.
Okay, yeah, back to...
I just wanted to bring that up.
Good.
I just thought it was funny that you bring that. Anyways, okay. Also, Roxy,
Ghostbusters.
I was going to make a joke real quick. Yeah, Roxy, you don't celebrate the 4th of July correctly. You got to grab the fireworks and shoot it at the nearest person you see. That makes it really fun. It hurts like a motherfucker.
No, I don't celebrate the 4th of July. I don't celebrate the 4th of July correctly because I'm not a fucking NPC.
I'm gonna just pause the episode.
No, I just meant the people who like buy fireworks. I just mean like the people who like buy fireworks.
A dinosaur story.
Okay, I just mean like the people who buy fireworks and go, "Oh my god, freedom!" Shut up. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Ghostbusters.
Just go back to it. Okay.
It's a fun little reference for the time. It also kind of works in the plot in this way, since Dustin uses the ghost trapper to contain Dart when he's showing it off to the other crew members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just don't care for the references. I'm just not, like, again, it's just a personal thing. It doesn't talk bad about the show. I'm just saying. Also, I found something interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can see how it can be annoying for some people, but I guess not for me, since going to conventions is one of my favorite things in the whole world.
I mean, I like going to the
convention. I'm used to this type of stuff.
Oh, I'd love to go to a convention. I'm just saying, like, for a show, I don't know. It just kind of feels a little bit... It feels a little, I guess, fan servicey because I'm kind of used to movies doing that now.
It very aggressively takes place in the 1980s.
Along with that, I did find something interesting while looking at Stranger Things Season 2. Have any of you heard of the show Beyond Stranger Things?
Is that the documentary which they go into making it?
No. It is a... okay. It's basically a show that discusses it. Hosted by... Hosted by Jim Rash, the host, he discussed the show with the cast and crew of the TV show to talk about what happened in that specific episode. It started around season 2, and I thought that was very interesting because The Walking Dead does that too. Talking Dead, which is basically a show where they bring everybody around. And they're like, okay, let's talk about what happened this episode. Like, holy shit, we saw your long lost brother. Like, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, thought it was a little interesting. Thought I'd bring it up. It also kind of reminds us of what we're doing. Basically just discussing the show. At least not by episode, but, you know. We're not relegated to one show. We're relegated to like 30 right now. Okay. What do we... You know what? I guess we could just hurry off and do a quick detour and talk about some of the characters real quick, and then we'll go back to the stories. Mostly the ending, but...
Yeah, the characters are strong as ever in this.
I do not like Hopper in this season.
Really? What, I kind of...
Yeah. I mean...
This is...
Like, I'm sorry, the moment he said that he could send 11 back to the lab with the phone call, he lost all sympathy from me. I was like, okay, no.
Yeah, that was very dickish.
I think it's more of a light threat than something he would actually do.
You don't say that to somebody. You don't go up to you don't go up to like your nephew who's been raped and go, "Oh man, if you complain to me again about how you got raped one time, I'm gonna rape you." You don't fucking do that.
Jesus
That's basically
Christ,
what he
Roxy.
did. It's within that territory.
Yeah, so quickly. Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully this episode doesn't get me in any trouble. Okay.
I mean, we're not even monetized anyway. Yeah.
YouTube can still look at that and be like, "What did they just say?" Loud and proud. Anyways, to the extent I kind of know what you're getting at with the whole saying something. Oh,
yeah, same here. But at the same time, I kind of well, aside from that, I understand where he's really. How do I put it? This is basically a second chance at.
I get it.
This is basically a second chance at trying to be a father, and he really doesn't want to mess it up.
Look, I get it. People say things they don't mean when they're mad. Like even in Shrek Forever After, he's like, "Man, I wish things could go back to the way they were." And Fiona's like, "Before you rescued me from the tower," and he was like, "Yeah, exactly." It's just like, okay, yeah, sure. That's a pretty horrible
in the moment type things.
That's a horrible thing to say. Definitely. The thing is,
you don't always think clearly when you're angry.
You're not you.
Okay, Shrek clearly doesn't mean it. Like once he realized, like even in Shrek Forever After, he never hates his family. He never wants them to. He never
outright says.
You know what I mean? He never realized what he had until it was gone. But Hopper said perhaps the most mentally damaging thing possible, which, yes, in Shrek's case, it could be considered similar to that, but he never said, "I'm going to send you back to the tower," or "I wish you were back in the tower." He just said that he wished things could go back to the way they were, which, yes, those things were that way before he rescued her. But that doesn't specifically mean he wants her to disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just meaning more of like, because I'm trying to think. There is one thing I will say that I was kind of like mixed about whenever he did say that, because I was like, it is fucked up to say, and he shouldn't have said it. But at the same time, I don't think it's like, I was gonna say that extreme, but it's more of like, he should have just been there for 11 and been like, I just wish that you'd listen instead of, "Oh yeah, fuck you. I wish you were back at your lab. That place where you're tortured. Yeah, I'll just call him up." Because like it's kind of
he also directly insulted her.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
but
which I think he does apologize over the radio, and she does hear it through her powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does, and it's nice that he does. But the fact that's like saying in the FNAF movie, "Oh man, it's nice that Mike realized, oh, I shouldn't sell my sister to these fucking ghosts." It's like, yeah, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have thought about that in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I would
Yeah, but
compare to that.
it's just more of it was the one thing he said that was stupid. Again, all bad things you say in the heat of the moment, even if it's even if it is something as egregious as that. Like it shouldn't have been said. We can all agree on that. Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit like about the new characters, such as the legacy character of Bob, who is in a relationship with Joyce.
Bob, the hero.
Yep, who gets axed like pretty fucked up.
Dude,
Albeit for very stupid reasons. Like, there was no reason for him to just stay there and stand there like a drooling
Idiot
bucket of popcorn.
well, yeah, they literally call attention to how smart he is, and he just does that. But also, I think this is symbolic of an issue.
I mean, yeah, we'd like you to meet Bob,
you can
the smartest
tell
person alive.
it's symbolic of an issue. You can definitely tell in this season. It feels like the writers refuse to kill off any of the main characters. Okay, the moment Bob is introduced, you're like, okay, well, you're gonna die. Because it's like all the legacy characters from season 1 are too valuable. They have fans and stuff. Bob is just a new guy, and you're like, yeah, no.
I mean, I didn't entirely feel that because
he's Demogorgon.
there were
Bob.
still
You know what I mean?
yeah, and there were still some moments where I did think they still could die. Like, they never came off as being invincible.
You know what? I'll give season 3 this. This is a minor spoiler since I'm not telling you any details about it. But it actually did kill off a character introduced in a previous season. And I don't just mean someone like, oh no, Mike's mom died. You know what I mean? I don't mean something like that. It was a major character who died.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Along with
that, let's talk about the characters introduced in this season with Bob still.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Max. Madison.
Yeah.
She's cool. I'm glad that she warms up to the boys.
Yeah.
Like, it's really nice because she obviously stands up. Like, she's more like, no, I'm like not like the other girls. You know, just fucking copy.
Yeah, she wants to be treated as part of the group, but until later on, she just gets left out because they can't tell anyone about what happened in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
Else they'll get in trouble.
Yep.
Oh my god, can we talk about the scene where fucking Dart escapes? That pissed me off so much.
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, where you escape through the tunnel? Go right ahead.
Yeah.
No, I mean where he escapes because they have him like in the Ghostbusters trap, and then Max opens the door and he gets out, and it's like you know.
Yeah.
God, why don't you just fucking tell her? You know,
because
well, okay, no, they explain why they don't tell her. Yes, but if they told her in that room, it would be in private, and not. Yeah.
Whatever. See, why didn't they? If they had that Demogorgon in the fucking containment chamber, couldn't they like give it to I don't know, someone who does know, and then they could keep it a secret? Like in a way from where anybody could just grab a hold of it and open it? Like, I'm just saying, it can't be that hard. But it's alright. I mean, I get how it could piss you off because, you know, why the fuck would you open it? But she obviously didn't know. But I feel like more of, if I had something that I didn't want nobody to fuck with, I would hide it pretty fucking good. And I get it, oh, well, they're kids. But even then, when I was a kid, I knew how to hide shit. Fuck. It wasn't
Oh, you want to know something I didn't like either with this season? I mean, given there's a reason given for this, but it did kind of frustrate me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that, so in season 1, like probably the best set of characters in season 1 was the main set of kids, but in season 2 they separate 11 from them for almost the entire time.
Yeah, she doesn't get reunited till like episode 9 or 10.
I think it's the finale.
Episode 8.
Yeah, because like,
and then we get full reintroduction in the last episode.
Yeah, because like, wasn't it that?
That was sweet.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What was also really nice was the scene where Mike confronts Hopper, which we understand Hopper, he was trying to be protective over her, but also at the same time you get Mike's frustration for like, you've been keeping her away from us? We're friends, you liar! And
yeah,
the acting, especially on that scene, is great, as we see Mike like being frustrated and hitting Hopper until he eventually breaks down crying. Hopper still holds him.
Yeah, because
it's like, yeah, that was executed so well.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Evidently Hopper is a terrible father.
He's trying.
He tries his best.
Oh my god, I just thought of a horrible joke, and I don't think I should say it.
It's still better here than what they do in season 3, but we don't have to get into that.
No, we got
right
a while
now
until season 3.
Oh, so there is a god.
you were about to.
I cannot stress enough. Watching season 3 was fucking torture. I hated.
Okay, side tangent.
Okay.
No.
Steve and Dustin are the highlights. Okay, like they're the only 2 characters who aren't ruined. By the way, oh yeah, speaking of Steve, season 2 completely flips Steve. Like he's actually like the best character this time around.
Yes, I was really wanting to hear your thoughts on Steve this season, Caroline.
He was way more enjoyable. I'm glad that they changed him around instead of being a fucking dick. Very cool.
I mean, to be fair, he became less of a dick near the end of season 1, so him being much better now tracks.
Yeah, they didn't just flip him out of nowhere. It felt like they actually went out of their way to make sure that he was enjoyable to watch and more understanding.
It's not like
very natural still.
Yeah, it's not like 11 just walked up to
with
Steve.
Dustin now.
It's not like 11 just walked up to Steve and was like, oogly boogly using my magic powers, and his brain chemistry changed.
Okay,
you know
what's super fucking weird? That like I just realized, and I was going to bring this up here. Everything that's like 3 related are like the worst. Rick and Morty season 3 is going to be the fucking worst. The 3rd episode of when we talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, we will be talking about Security Breach, because Help Wanted and Special Delivery will be part of it, but still, Security Breach would be a part of it. X3 fucking sucks. When we ever get to talking about the Blade trilogy, Blade Trinity sucks. Like, Rick and Morty season 3 is gonna suck. Like, what?
Shrek the Third
is gonna suck. Fucking Crash Bandicoot 3 is the worst in the trilogy. Like,
okay, to be fair, Crash 3 isn't even bad. It's like SpongeBob season 3, where I'd say it's not as good as the first 2, but it's still pretty solid.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but if you think about that, like, every 3rd entry we're talking about is like,
well, almost every 3rd entry.
Yeah.
We did talk possibly about Infinity War and Toy Story 3 and Sonic 3 in the favorite sequels episode. Plug.
But no, I'm just saying, like, with everything that we have been talking about thus far, like, most of the time...
Hey, you know what?
FNAF 3!
whenever we talk about Deltarune, chapter 3 is not the worst chapter, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. Because, like, not only that, even the third new trilogy X-Men isn't good. Like, it's actually worse than X3. Like, that's what makes it so fucked up. It's like, we just have so much worse thing. If we ever do that Spider-Man idea I had, fucking Spider-Man 3 is the worst of that trilogy. But at least it's not bad. It's Amazing Spider-Man. Venom 3 sucks. I'm glad we're not talking about Last Dance. Because that movie, I mean, hey, never say never, but still. I just can't believe it. We, like... Can we even name, like, a third entry that's good? Like, that we would consider better than the original two? Like, I can't think of one.
I mean, aside from the ones that I mentioned earlier in the sequels episode.
Yeah, but...
let's see. A third movie a third entry in something that is actually... Oh, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Harry Potter? Yeah, I guess, but that's still Harry Potter.
That's like... Yeah. Prisoner of Azkaban is, like, universally agreed upon to be the best one, though.
Mario Galaxy.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith? Isn't that the third Star Wars movie, or is that the sixth Star Wars movie?
Well, it's the sixth one to come out, but the third one chronological order.
Yeah, chronologically, yeah. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to bring it up because I just realized, because we have already been setting ourselves up that the third entry of what we're going to be talking about, Rick and Morty Season 3, we know is going to suck. We know that Stranger Things Season 3 is going to suck. And I definitely know that X-Men 3, The Last Stand, is going to suck. Like, we are so cooked. I'm trying to think of anything else, really. I mean, technically, Fan4Stick is the third Fantastic Four movie. So if we ever talk about that, you know, we got a bad one there. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, Boss Season 3 about to be ass.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. That is coming out soon. Fuck me, man. Oh, well, no. I was about to say Batman Forever, but Batman and Robin. Even though I think The Dark Knight Rises also sucks, but, you know. Okay, let's actually get back to Stranger Things. Sorry, just wanted to bring it up. Thought it was funny. Okay. So, yeah, Steve, glad he's not a dick. Great job, Steve. He is way more
My name is Steve, and I am not a dick.
Oh, my God, Ant-Man Quantumania is a third entry, too. Gosh dang it. I just realized.
Anyways, speaking of Steve, another thing I liked is to show how much he's improved. They gave him the rival of Billy.
Yeah,
because he's pretty much like Steve if he never grew out of it.
Yeah, the fact that Billy almost hit the kids with the car is so fucked up. Like,
it makes me wonder how was he not in prison already?
Yeah, I mean, like, he had to have done that to another kid at some point.
He's definitely a psychopath.
Yeah.
In some case, you know how he like talks smack to Dustin while acting? Not Dustin. Talking smack to Steve while they fight in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think the actor or someone actually said his performance in that was inspired by Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Oh, that's cool.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
The guy who played Billy's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all the acting in this all the actors do great, but Billy especially.
What was going on when Billy talked to Mike's mom? What the fuck was that?
I completely forgot about that. Thankfully, they drop in the first few episodes of 3. That's one of the few positive things I can say about 3.
You guys are making me really not want to watch season 3.
Well, dude, I want to watch them all eventually before.
Stranger Things
Since we now know that the last season's coming out at the tail end of the year, so I want to eventually get to them all.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things season 3 is going to be the Sirsplaysalot equivalent of every bad episode I've made.
I'm probably not gonna be very happy.
It's almost gonna be like my equivalent of how Toy Story 4 destroyed everything.
I wasn't gonna speak on that, but I was gonna bring up. I just thought of another third fucking movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. God, I'm just thinking of all the bad three.
You know what? At least Super Mario Brothers 3 is the best of that trilogy.
Okay, you know what? You mentioned Ninja Turtles 3. I kind of wish they did the VHS thing for the DVDs they did here, just so I can cut it in half.
Oh God!
Be like, it's hammer time. Just destroy my physical copy of season 3.
Oh, I was gonna say, Roxy, insert Mario Galaxy. That's the third 3D Mario game.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, well, it's good. Gosh. Okay. Donkey Kong Country 3 is actually considered the worst of the original SNES trilogy.
Well, I guess out of all the U.S. presidents, the third one is not the worst. I mean, no, I don't mean because of Trump. I mean, even when it was just the first 3, he wasn't the worst one.
Thomas Jefferson? That's all I could think of.
Yeah, because, I mean, John Adams was the second president, so yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, alright, let's go back to Stranger Things. Let's go back to the story. Or mostly, I wanted to really discuss the ending, because the ending's really good. So...
Yeah.
Sir, you want to kick us off?
Is this the whole final battle sequence and the ending, or just the ending?
Final battle and the ending, where there's
everyone's doing their part. They're trying to before they can close the portal, they gotta get the smoke monster out of Will, because he's part of the hive mind too.
Mm-hmm.
So they do that in a very intense scene with a lot of heat, flickering lights. Actually reminds me of The Exorcist.
That's literally what I said. It was like an
and then.
Oh, sorry.
And then Jonathan proves how weak of a will he has, because how weak of a will! God damn it!
What?
I didn't even think of that. No, but I was just gonna make a joke where I said, and Jonathan proves how weak of a will he has because he can't watch his brother, even though he's possessed, to be tortured.
Yeah, though he does help in when his brother's choking his mom, and they're able to get it out by both having Nancy brand him, and also Mike and friends burning the tunnel heart thing.
Mm-hmm. And then,
yeah, because they went into the tunnel against Steve's
the Nexus,
which also this episode give fans the nickname Steve the Babysitter, which is sweet.
Okay, that's really funny. Throughout the season, Steve does fucking everything for the other characters. It's literally only until Billy comes in and beats the shit out of Steve that any of them fucking do anything else when he's around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Max who injected him with the sleeping stuff they injected to Will.
All it took was the final boss for them to not treat Steve like a slave.
Guys, maybe we should help him. Nah. And then
for the most of that, they just stood there and watched it happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I also forgot that Billy was racist, since he something against Lucas being with Max.
Oh shit! I almost fell.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, no, it just scared me.
Yeah, but back to the brief recap.
Billy is the most. Oh. Billy looks and acts like the most. This guy is racist person you'd ever see, even if he never explicitly showed it. You know what I mean?
To an extent. And then after they beat the
Yeah, they
monster,
burned the heart center in the middle of the maze, combined with all the heat, and Nancy Brandingwell gets the smoke monster out, which, well, to be fair, they didn't have a plan to how to capture that, so it roams free in the woods, unfortunately.
mm-hmm.
Wowie zowie, I wonder what'll ever come of that.
Probably nothing. They'll all be fine. They'll get along like a
Yeah, I
house
wonder
on
what will
fire, I'm
become of
sure.
that. But yeah, they...
No, you want to know what happened as a result of that? Season 3.
Oh,
So,
no!
Oh no!
for
No!
not.
You idiots! You should have
But
just
to be
found a
fair,
jar!
there wasn't anything the characters could have done
You should
to...
have just cast Will into the fire. Destroy him.
No!
Just kill him. That is a sacrifice
Jesus.
I am willing to make. Okay.
Well, to be fair, there was nothing they could have done to prevent the smoke monster from escaping. Anyway, all this stuff makes it also distracts the Demogorgons, so they get so the entrance to the cave becomes clear. And with Eleven's newfound strength, thanks to her long-lost sister, she is able to close the portal and cause all the dogs to drop like flies.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Dart too. He never got to finish his Three Musketeer.
Does suck. And then
Three Musketeers ain't bad.
that was
Oh, I forgot. We forgot to mention the subplot where I think I briefly mentioned it, where Nancy and Justin try to uncover the
Justin.
Jonathan. Fuck, what is wrong with me?
You're good.
Bro, you love this show so much you can't even remember the characters' names. Yeah, by the way, Murray, the conspiracy guy, it's cool that they put me in Stranger Things.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at least he comes back in season 3. That's another positive.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, they uncover the lab's conspiracy to just do justice for Barb by saying it was like a waste leakage that actually killed her, and getting it shut down. Yeah, and a few months past, it's the snowball dance, and Hopper lets 11 out for one night, that being to dance with Mike. They
kiss.
Really excel in that ship. Yeah, they kiss. And of course, the cool transition I mentioned earlier, showing the Mind Flayer. And it ends.
You did forget one thing.
Oh, what?
Hopper adopts.
Hopper.
Hopper adopts.
Officially adopts 11 now.
And
Jane.
I like that. I like that the new replacement scientist isn't just, oh my god, it's Mr. Evil again.
Yeah.
He's like actually, you know what he is?
He's actually a nice person who just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, and he can't let it get out, so he's just Alphys.
Yeah.
that's the new character in Stranger Things season 2.
I didn't put like what I expect for season 3 because I have little hopes for season 3.
You know what? Give us your not even hopes because you know it's gonna suck, but give us your expectations for season.
Yeah, give us your predictions of what you think is gonna happen.
I feel like I'm going to actually find a reason never to watch this show again. I feel like
I feel like nuked my interest. I only am rewatching the show because Sir is forcing my hand.
I mean,
yeah, I just really want to talk about it with people.
Hey, that's fine. I'm glad we are.
I get myself excited for the final season.
Yeah, I mean, hey, to be fair, this is like the perfect time to do it because the final season is coming out. Yeah. This is easily
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's gonna, or do you think it's gonna be like a Squid Game situation where the 3rd season released recently, and I didn't even notice until fucking Ellis Mark posted about it?
Well, season 3 of Squid Game is a little different because of that ending. We will not spoil it. Do not worry. Don't skip ahead. My thing is,
are we doing a? Oh, please don't make us do a Squid Game episode. I don't fucking care.
Originally I did plan for us all to blindly go in to watch it, and then we do an episode on it, but after I heard what happens in season 3, I did not care enough to watch it. like all the way through.
Well, so season 3 killed your interest in Squid Game too.
Well, yeah, because literally they're trying to connect it to a quick spoiler here. At the end, they're trying to set up that they are going to the American version of Squid Game. Like,
it's just America.
The Beast games?
No, like just the American version of Squid Games. No, and it's not just like America, because Squid Games is 12 times more violent and like 13% less guns. Anyways, so my expectations is I feel like I'm gonna hate a lot of the characters that I liked, and then I'm going to probably get to one point where the show just pisses me off enough to where I literally just say I can't get through it.
Well, I kind of spoiled it already, where I said Steve and Dustin are like the only two characters who are. Well, okay, Steve and Dustin are the only two who aren't ruined, and there's one other character who's actually improved from the previous season.
Also, there is one other thing. But this is the season where they introduce Eddie, isn't it?
No, that's 4.
Oh, God. The amount of white women I have seen have that fucking profile picture of him going, "Ugh," makes me, like, every time whenever I think of that fucking show.
Who?
Huh? Eddie.
Who?
Eddie.
Eddie.
From season 4.
Who the fuck is it?
Season
Who's
4.
Eddie?
Season 4. We'll get to it, I guess.
Okay, well, you know what? On the topic of Eddie, or like a character like that. Wait, no, I can't talk about this because this is the season 3 episode. God, I'm done. I'm sorry.
That's season 2 episode.
Oh, okay, you know what? Sir, you could probably guess who the season 3's version of all the white women love this character.
Oh yeah, I know.
I love how this is just it kind of like the cancer spreading underneath Hawkins. This is slowly getting infected into becoming a season 3 hate episode.
Oh my God! Wait, is this who it is? Oh my God! It is! Oh my God! This fucking this picture. Oh, of course he plays Metallica. Oh, how epic!
Oh yeah. By the way, sir,
wow,
did
so
you notice
quirky.
that?
Oh my God!
By the way, sir, did you notice that Keith, the arcade guy, was in Saving Bikini Bottom?
Look at this.
Oh. Wait, he was?
Yeah, he was.
I remember. He's one of the dumbass henchmen. Tsunami. Your fucking creative name there.
Oh wait, is that the Sandy SpongeBob movie that they did? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's the Sandy movie. Which, by the way, Caroline, I am never.
No. Okay.
I am like, unless we just agree to watch every SpongeBob movie for some reason, we're not. I am never claiming from. Bottom episode.
We would only watch.
We only watch the first one.
We'll watch the first one and the second one. Those are the only two I am willing to watch because the second one's actually pretty good.
Both Sir and I have seen all 5 SpongeBob movies. The Plankton movie is actually pretty good, by the way.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch any SpongeBob.
And for those who don't know, the third one was I think the very first time I ever got viscerally angry while at a watch party.
Yeah.
My friends.
I never planned to watch Sponge on the Run. If you're wondering why, no, it's not because of the Steven Hillenburg, when he passed away, no. It's not that at all. Because one, literally none of that really stops me. Unless like it's blatantly disrespectful, I'm not going to watch it. Second of all, he had worked on the project, or at the very least, many people have said he worked on the project who were close to him. So they would really have no reason to lie, unless they're huge scumbags, which one of the people were Tom Kenny, so it's pretty impossible for that to be the case. But the main reason why I don't want to watch it just doesn't look entertaining. Look, I will watch bad Marvel movies any day of the week. But a bad SpongeBob movie? Nah, you're drawing the line there.
It just breaks my heart. You know how far the franchise has fallen from grace.
I still can't believe that show. You know, any show like that goes on for fucking ever. I genuinely cannot understand why people would think the show would still be good. Like, my goodness. I was talking with someone about The Simpsons, and I was like, about how the show needs to end because people are going to die. People are going to die, and then you're going to have to recast, and then people are going to get really upset. It works for Mario because Mario's a game character, but it doesn't work for fucking Bob's Burgers or Family Guy or whatever. That's why I don't like Family Guy. I watched a short today about fucking Brian got canceled because he said something about TikTok, and I was like, I'm not even kidding. It was something along those lines, and like the tag was like Brian got canceled exclamation mark, and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, what the fuck am I even watching? This is still Family Guy. Like, it's not even like none of it's even funny anymore. It's not even like enjoyable. It's just slop. It's just genuine slop. But okay. Wild tangent aside, I think it's about time that we move on to our ranking for the season.
That was weirdly fast. I thought we were going to talk about more.
Well, you know what they say: time flies when you're having fun.
No, I mean I think we've only been recording for like an hour.
Yeah, we have, and it's late where I live. Hey, to be fair, we did have a lot to say, but we mostly were talking shit on season 3.
Yeah.
Even though,
Well, okay, it was like 25% shitting on season 3, and for me at least, 75% complaining about everybody except Steve.
What were you gonna say, sir?
Okay. Yeah, I looked up for reference. The season 1 episode is an hour and 28 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we don't really need to fully go into a big, deep... Because, like, I mean, we don't really got to bring up the special
will with
effects.
season 3.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Season 3 will be a very fun time. You know what? Okay, hold on. Can we agree?
You want to just record the season... You want to just watch and record the season 3 episode, like, later this week, just for the funny?
No, because I have an idea. When we get to a point, we should... Okay, because we would have to watch through all of Shrek the Third. We'd have to watch through all of Rick and Morty. At some point, what we need to just do is we need to get X-Men 3, Stranger Things Season 3, Rick and Morty Season 3, and fucking Shrek 3 all in, like, 1 week. Like,
okay, wait, so that means that in like the second half of season 2 we should do both Rick and Morty season 2 and Shrek 2. Probably.
Possibly.
So that way when we start in season 3 we could just do all those back to back.
We could just do a 3-peat. Where we just do that. That would be fucking hilarious if that's how we start season 3. We could do that to Sharknado, just never watch Sharknado 2. Like, the one episode we never did was Sharknado 2. That would be silly. I will not deny it. Okay, well...
The funny thing is, Sharknado 3 is actually, like, better than the previous 2 movies.
the one silver lining. I wouldn't really want to do that for season 3, but I really want to finish off the X-Men movies. Because there's a lot that we still have to get through. Especially with a specific thing that will be happening in season 2. Season 2 will be bigger.
We have to censor that. No, wait, we need the Sharknado thing to be a surprise. Fuck.
Too late.
Just like...
It's already been... We already announced it. You already, like, announced it, like, in one of the last episodes. Like, not, like, the last ones we recorded, like... I don't know if it was Monty Python or Fantastic Four. You brought it up. I can't remember for what reason.
Okay, well, whatever then.
Whatever. Hey, maybe we change it last minute. Who knows?
Family Guy season 3. Woo! Nah, once again, I don't think we're ever gonna do a sequel to the Family Guy.
Oh God, no. I don't know.
Oh well.
Okay, well, sir.
Well, anyways,
let's start with the ranking. You start us off. Where would you rank season 2?
wasn't as. Yeah, in some areas it's not as strong as one, but I still say it's a solid season overall. I still have some attachment to it since it's the first one I watched for some reason. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Roxy?
Mid.
So,
No, okay,
right
so here's how it is. Here's how
everything.
it is. Season 1 is it's really odd. Okay? Season 1 is like a 10 out of 10 near perfect experience. Season 2 is a 5 out of 10, like right in the middle, you know?
Okay.
Like it's decent, but also much worse than season 1. And then season 3 is a fucking 1 out of 10.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Going through the first 3 seasons is just going to be a descent into hell.
Oh goodness. Didn't you give Mario 64 a fucking 2 out of 10?
Did I? I don't remember.
I think you did.
I'd probably give it a higher score now, but I mean, I still don't particularly like that game.
Okay, anyways. For me, I'm probably good with Sir. 7 out of 10. It's still a great experience. I like the characters. I especially like how they portray Steve in this season. I like the elements. It was it felt like a little bit more horror focused, which I really enjoyed, like that Alan Wake horror aesthetic. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, decent season overall. I don't know if I like it more than season 1 or season 2. I'll probably binge watch them all like in one sitting and trying to see and understand everything about it before I head into season 3 and see if season 1 and 2 will make me love the show enough to where I would keep going. So, but for now, I'm going to stick with my 7 out of 10 with Sir. Which, I mean, Sir, man, me and you, or not me and you, you, like, I think you gave a few things later on, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, this season, or the next few episodes, like 7 out of 10s, I think. Like, I think you gave a certain, well, I mean, we can reveal them. Okay, you know what, speaking of which, next time on Vulture Culture Podcast, the next time.
Next is episode 20, which, oh my god.
Hey, I remember this episode. Yeah, we are doing fictional crushes.
We recorded that one ahead of time, and by the end of it, it felt like I was watching my parents go through divorce again.
Oh my god!
Dude, Caroline fucking breaks at the end.
Oh, I do. If you want to know why, stay tuned next week. You'll see. I mean, hey, to be fair, Roxy does redeem themselves in the next episode they picked, which we'll get to in a minute. After.
Oh my god, I'm like Steve! Yay!
Episode 21 will be our second guest will be appearing, and we'll be talking about Danganronpa, which is Danganronpa 2, or sorry, Danganronpa 1, Trigger Happy Havoc, which is not my favorite.
I have never played before.
I'm very excited to see how you feel about Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and don't forget, Pantherina will be with us that episode. So, you know, just saying. Be there, because Panther will be there. Hopefully they don't fall asleep during the recording. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a low blow. That was a low blow.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
No, I'm telling her. I'm telling her you said that.
Yeah, no, I have a
Hopefully they don't make annoying jokes about Trevor throughout the entire thing.
I highly doubt it. We won't bring it up as much. Anyways, after that we got Shantae, half genie hero for episode 22. Finally got that right. Jeez,
yeah.
like spelling wise.
And it's my pick.
Yep.
Since this was number 4 on my favorite games list, and you're about to experience why.
See, I would ask.
I'm like,
oh, what?
I go, Shantae Have Genie Hero is the most overrated video game ever made. I can't stand it when people think Shantae Have Genie Hero is good.
You're see, like I never made you all play my favorite games because none of you have the platform. Well, I mean, Sir has the platform.
Actually, in this season we played 2 games. I just realized in this season we played 2 games. They're from my favorite games list.
Plants vs. Zombies?
Shantae and Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah, I think the other game. No,
No, only Roxy gets a Switch, so we can do a Xenoblade 2 episode.
Roxy just needs to get a Switch so then we can do the Earthbound episode. That will be the episode. That will be like over 4 hours long.
And the Donkey Kong Bonanza episode.
And the Donkey Kong Bonanza episode.
Caroline, I play it, and then afterwards I'm like, Earthbound is the most overrated.
That will literally be the day that I will make you sit through hell. You will be watching Son of the Mask. I will make you do that.
What? Bro, tie me up to a chair, put a fucking ball gag in my mouth.
Okay.
No.
After Shantae Half Genie Hero, which by the way, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of on my YouTube channel. You might want to go check that out. I'll probably
stream it.
We'll be doing Rick and Morty Season 1, which we have also already recorded that. As you can tell, this episode took a little bit to make because it's a TV show. It's very long. So, took us a little bit, but...
Yeah, I think the same thing happened with the first season.
Yeah, exactly. But, luckily, we were actually way more prepared this time around, which felt great because it didn't take as long to edit everything. It didn't take very long to edit the last list we did. Especially Fictional Crushes doesn't need any editing. It's literally just us talking about crushes.
Well, except for we need to add the character PNGs.
I mean, even then...
It's like, which characters we're talking about. What they look like.
No, because remember we have the challenge. Remember, people have to keep a tally of who is on whose list? And whoever did that got to pick the next episode, or one of the next episodes we do?
Yeah.
So I don't remember that at all. I just remembered more of the divorce argument you two were having.
To be fair, that was the highlight.
Man, we're so divorced, I don't remember ever getting married.
Fuck you! Fuck you! We had something special, you bastard! Okay, sorry.
Caroline, when did we get married? When did that happen? I don't remember it at all.
It was,
Was I drunk?
You were a little... No, I think, actually, I was probably the one who was high on bleach and bath salts. Anyways, along with that, episode 24 will be our very first album review, going over the Van
Halen 1.
Yep. Hey, it'd be really fucking hilarious.
Also already recorded ahead of time, and I think it's the least talkative Roxy's ever been in an episode.
Mm-hmm. I think it is, actually.
Probably already the least talkative out of us anyway, when it's about...
I always thought I was the least talkative.
No, I mean, if we're talking about something I'm not already familiar with, I'm probably the least talkative.
Well, thank goodness I think most of what we have talked about, you at least have some kind of knowledge about. Even X-Men. You're still very talkative about X-Men.
Yeah, wait, he survived? I still remember replaying that part.
Yeah, once again, it completely depends on whether or not I'm already familiar with something. Like my fucking autism, I don't actually know if I have autism. I probably shouldn't say that. But I probably have autism.
And you should be proud of it.
And then episode 25 we will not reveal, but it is revealed at the end of the Rick and Morty episode. Do not spoil it, you two! Don't. But, we will...
The Angry Bird duology.
The Angry Bird... No, we're gonna watch both Ghost Rider movies.
Oh my god, guys, it's the Goodbye Volcano High episode!
Holy shit, it finally happened!
No, we're finally gonna do a Studio Ghibli episode.
Finally.
Something I've been wanting.
I understand. Wait, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Double features. When could we ever be like, okay, we could do one? Should there be like one double feature per season?
Well, okay, maybe if it's like a short series of movies, like if it's like here's the original Star Wars trilogy or here's the Back to the Future trilogy, then maybe if you really wanna go to hell, we could do all 8 Harry Potter movies at once.
No, no. No, I'm meaning like 2 movies. Like, it would be like, okay, Ghost Rider 2. We could do trilogies. And it would be just...
Man, we're so desperate. We're so desperate to do a double feature episode. We're going to talk about Fantastic Four again, and then Rise of the Silver Surfer.
And then Fan Four Stick. Like, just so then, God. I will say, as I think I bring it up in the Van Halen episode, I'll bring it up here too, just so then it's out there. After episode 25 goes live, we're going to take a small break from uploading the episodes. We're still going to record them. We're still going to sit down and do episodes. But we're just going to take a little bit of a break. We will be back, I would say 2 weeks tops. Mostly because then we can get some episodes ready to go, and if anything happens, episodes will already be ready to go, and we don't have to worry about it. Along with that, I think this episode's been going on long enough. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like a fourth of the episode is this ending section. It wasn't very long of an episode.
Hey, to be fair, it is retreading territory. Some of the episodes where we retread is not as long as the original. Because, I think Five Nights at Freddy's was shorter than the original.
Actually, hang on, let me look. Let me do a comparison.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The first Five Nights at Freddy's episode was 2 hours and 38 minutes. Second one was 1 hour and 12 minutes, which... Okay, the second one actually got a lot more views. Now it's at 96 views. Like, it rapidly grew.
Well, I guess because we're talking about the one that I probably... Some people might know me a little bit more for. Because... fucking...
And the most viewed episode is still Crash Bandicoot with 363
I found
views.
that so fucking funny that that's the most popular episode. And it's the one where I easily have the worst gameplay because I was still new at the game. But I just find it funny that is just like, alright, the one where it's like we talk about multiple games? Nah. The Crash Bandicoot episode? Oh, hell yeah, I'll watch that. Nah, I mean, it's fine. Hey, keep watching our content. Hey, that's all that matters. And...
Consume
content. Anyways, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stay tuned to next week when we talk about our fictional crushes. Roxy, I'm still gonna... I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking about our fictional crushes and embarrass ourselves in front of the whole internet.
Yeah, and then get mocked for it. It's like, oh, that was underwhelming.
Well, I was... I don't know, the way you built it up, I was expecting something wilder.
You have crushes on human characters? Fucking Square.
Square? Squares are Tetris pieces.
Meanwhile, I'm an octagon with what I reveal.
I'm a nuclear bomb.
I'm a scribble.
You're Anyways, thank you for listening or watching or whatever you do when you're consuming the content. Stay tuned again for next week for Fictional Crushes. I have been your host, Evil Spirit, with the 2 co-hosts, Roxy Reviews and Sirsplaysalot. If you want to watch any of their content or consume any of their content at all, I will have the links to all their stuff down in the bios. Not only that, if you want to help us out, share, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new, leave suggestions down below. We might take them, we might not, depending on what the context is. Believe it or not, we have our first suggestion, and I will say it right now. Venture Bros. Have you ever heard of that show?
I've heard.
No.
I've only seen out of context clips.
Roxy.
Okay, I just want to point this out. Oh. I'm really fucking irritated right now because This is a bit of a spoiler, actually. I'll tell you afterward.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're not pissed off like me, where fucking today P. Diddy got fucking... God! How did he get away with it? Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of the Vulture Culture Podcast. See you all next week when we talk about our fictional crushes. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Stay tuned to next week. Same time, same place, every day. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Volcano High.
Ah, fuck